Well, we were just talking about TikTok.
Yes.
Always talking about TikTok.
Always.
And I love yours. I really love I love everything about your TikTok.
Thank you so much, because again, imposter syndrome, I'm like, I don't get what people find interesting, but I keep doing it because people are loving it. So I feel like, I don't know, like, I'm just like, what are you loving about it?
I love when you're like taking us behind the scenes of set and like into certain meetings, but I think everyone feels that way, because I feel that way about my life.
Yeah.
And people still watch it, and people like, okay, on YouTube with vlogs,
Yeah.
people actually like my vlogs when I'm at home versus my vlogs when I'm out like traveling the world.
Okay.
So when you think things need to be super interesting like to you, that doesn't mean that they wouldn't be to other people.
Yeah.
So you're just used to the life that you live, so you don't think that it's interesting.
Totally.
But other people aren't used to it, and it is interesting to them.
Yeah. I think I get like 10 DMs a day from someone new saying they saw my TikTok and they're like, holy, they found me because of TikTok or whatever it might be. And I'm just like, what? That's so cool.
TikTok is great in that way. Like, it's crazy because I don't think about like growth on TikTok. I'm not strategic with it. I'm honestly like don't think about growth anywhere, but
it's
like
great until the haters come forward, which I know you want to talk about.
Yeah. Actually, so how are you doing now with your haters?
Honestly, great.
I feel like they've disappeared.
Well, they've disappeared because I don't put, like, unfortunately, this is going to be us putting attention on them, but they've disappeared because I don't give them that attention anymore.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I just realized that, like, they're not in my shoes. They don't know how to run a business. They probably never have run a business before. They don't know anything about what I'm doing on the inside. So, like, I hope they get well soon. You know? Like, I hope they get well, because Caitlin's laughing because we, like, in our office, it's seriously like I don't know how, we're a family. Like, it's so weird how close we all are. And I know people don't understand it. I actually don't understand it, how we are all so close. Like, it just works. And so, anyways, Diane and I were like jokingly picking on Allie today, and she says to us, like, I hope you guys get well soon. And I was like, I love that. Like,
That's
I'm
so
gonna
funny.
start saying that to people who like say mean things about my friends on Instagram, or like say mean things to me. I'm gonna be like, I really hope you get well soon.
No, I'm
so
saying that.
I think it's a thing. So shout out to Allie for starting that, because I think it's genius. But I really stopped like giving them attention. There was like one TikTok video when I first started that like went viral. I couldn't even tell you what she like was saying, but she was like shitting on me and shitting on set. And I went to the video and I'm like, listen, you're gonna hear my not so nice side come out in a second. I was like, this bitch is laying in bed and she's gonna have the audacity to pick on my brand and my company as she's laying in her bed. That lazy ass. Like, I was like, no. I'm not gonna listen to this girl's TikTok that's going viral. She can, you know, what's the word? Clickbait people by saying she has tea or thinks she knows what's happening on the inside, but she has no idea what she's talking about. And that's what I just really started to like realize. I was like, these people are writing like that we're like picking similar colors on purpose, or you like coming up with this strategy to like fuck over our customers. I'm like, in what
Picking
universe?
similar colors. There's something called trend forecasting too.
It's a whole thing. So I just really, honestly, it's been months. I've never been happier. I don't play into the haters. I don't really have haters who comment anymore or reach out to me. The whole reason this whole thing started was because I stood up for Nikki. Someone said something not nice on her Instagram. I stood up for her. This girl thought it was unprofessional of me to stand up for her or like say what I said as a CEO, and went to Reddit and like created this whole community. And I swear this Reddit community wouldn't have built up if I didn't talk about it. And basically this girl's name was Bella, I think. Her name's Bella. And I don't know. I just was like, there's no rule book to being a CEO. First of all, if you're going to bully my friend, then I'm going to stand up for her. I'm not going to bully you back because that's like childish, but I'm going to tell you that what you're doing is not okay and that I hope you get well soon. So there's the situation on that.
And what you're saying about they're going away and you're not talking about it, I promise you that's probably why. Because the more attention you give to quote hater, the more like the more hate will come. My friends and I talk about this all the time, and in like YouTube world specifically, it's like, God, I feel like their followers are just so mean, or like everything they have to say, or there's always something, they're always addressing hate.
Yeah.
And then over time we realize like they're always addressing hate because they address it to begin with, and then it feeds off. So that's probably true.
I'm gonna read you this quote that I sent to that Indie Blue posted first. Then I sent it to Maddie Ziegler because we were at dinner and like we were talking about haters in general and whatever, and it really resonated with me. So I'm gonna read it to you, and it has to do with this. It's by Kobe Bryant. My heart. It says, learn to love the hate, embrace it, enjoy it, you earned it. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and everyone should have one about you. Haters are a good problem to have. Nobody hates the good ones, they hate the great ones.
Wow.
I know.
That's true.
It is true. I read that all the time. If like, you know, a hater comes through, I'm like, if you don't have haters, you're not popping.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
I started to just see it as a good thing, and I changed my mindset about it, and I stopped giving them attention. And even like the random comments I'll get on my TikTok that say like, oh, you know, I show my sample meetings all the time. They're like, do you do this on plus size? I'm like, obviously, yes, I do it on plus size, but that's not how the production world starts. You start it on a sample size, and then you grade up, and then once you get the grading, then you put it on plus size, and also the extra small sizes too. But because of production and the way that samples come, it comes in the average size of production. Yep. So all of our samples come in a size small, which is why we have to fit it on a sample model on a size small. Then we grade up and down, and then we do those fittings. I don't show that because when bulk comes, they're ready to go, and I'm not giving notes on that because usually every single time the fit is great. So that is why I show the sample meeting on a size small.
And also people who are doing like really nothing have so much time to talk about you know? So it's like they have to just, in the nicest way possible, I don't know, like I just think about, imagine you're in social media and you see your friend that you know in real life that you spend time with either commenting on someone, like a hate comment on someone's TikTok, or God forbid making a hate TikTok about someone. Would you not be so humiliated to know them?
Yeah.
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
So anyways, shout out to the haters.
Shout out to the haters.
Hope you get well soon.
Yeah, get well soon.
Get well soon.
XX.
Okay, I want to talk about reading with you.
Okay.
You're a Colleen Hoover fan.
I am a Colleen Hoover fan. I have weird book anxiety, though. I don't know if you experience this.
What does that mean?
So I have starting a book stops me from reading a book because it takes a couple pages to get hooked, you know?
I get that.
You know what I mean? Especially with Verity, like it ended up being my favorite book, and then I always tell myself like, oh, look, it turned into your favorite book. But it took me like a couple of pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down to really get into it, until I was actually forced because I was in Cabo with Allie. She went for a beach walk. We call it independent study when we're on vacation together. Like she goes for her beach walk and I go lay by the pool. And I was like, well, what am I going to do? Stay here, stare at the ocean? Like, I'd love to do that, but I got to also just like occupy some time here. So I picked up the book, and that's when I got into it. But it's like my reading anxiety. Like the first 50 pages give me anxiety of every book.
I get that.
Yeah.
I am just like very routine with reading, so I make myself, but it's hard because not every book like hooks you. It's actually pretty rare that a book hooks you from the very beginning.
Yes.
So I totally understand
so
that.
like I won't read, what's that book that went viral? It's like The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, because everyone said it was so slow to start and then it picks up. But because everyone has said that it's so slow to start, I will not read it.
It's one of my favorite books though. I will say. It's top. It's the ones that I always recommend to people, like in general, but especially people, like when people ask like what books would you recommend if you're starting reading, I always say that one because it's so different from every other book that I've read that it just is such a good rec. But I will say, for whatever reason, I had it on my TBR list for probably a year, and everyone was talking about it, and I still just like couldn't bring myself to read it. And then I happened to read it on like New Year's of 2021.
Yeah.
And I took a trip with a friend to a cabin, and I had nothing else on my Kindle, so I had to read it, and then I read it in a day. Because I got so hooked eventually.
Oh, so you're a Kindle girl, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I am like a Kindle evangelist at this point. The amount of Kindles I have sold Amazon is disturbing. and just people in my life. I give it as a gift all the time, let alone not even talk about people on the internet, but like people in my real life that I've either bought a Kindle for or they have finally. Like my brother was so anti like e-readers, was like, no, I'm only gonna read physical books. Sure enough, this week or this past month we went on a family vacation. He liked my Kindle. I ordered him one to where we were staying.
Obsessed.
And he's obsessed. He like hasn't put it down since. It just
I don't know if I'm
life.
a Kindle reader, but hold on, because this is how my brain works and my ADD works. You didn't ask me what my favorite product is at the moment. You always start.
I know, I've changed that. Do you want to answer though? What's your favorite product in the moment?
Why did you change that? It's like part of my favorite question that you asked.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I should. Okay. Back to it. We used to do hot seat. Okay. 3 questions.
Okay.
1, what is your favorite book you've read this year?
Verity.
Okay. 2, what is your favorite product?
Okay. It's the Tower 28 SOS spray.
I have that. I haven't used it though.
It is
what does it
life. It's just SOS spray.
What does that mean?
It's exact. Well, what's SOS mean?
Like save me?
Yeah, like help. 911. I need help. Save me. Right. So it's a spray for your face that saves like anything that's happening. It's like magic spray. I don't know how to explain it, but
wait, is it like a skincare product or does it like just revive your face throughout the day?
Skincare product. Like you spray it on before your moisturizer. But basically, like we did some sort of like co-branded like gifting with them, and this is I swear on my life, this is not like a branded shout out. Kaylin put together this, like, they're like, hey, Tower 28 sent over some stuff, like, do you want to take it home? I happen to be in love with the brand because it like blew up on TikTok, and their cream blushes and bronzers are life-saving. I would say it's like holy grail makeup products, but they sent like a really small size, and I'm looking at Kaylin. They sent a really small size, and I've been begging for a full size, a travel size. Sorry, I'll say travel size. They sent a travel size spray of the SOS spray, and I mean, I'm happy to buy it, but I think they're sending me a normal size bottle because I went through it in a week. Wow. And then Hailey Bieber, who obviously is the end all be all right now, like all of a sudden she's always been God's gift to earth, but now she's extra God's gift to earth. She posted like, when my skin is irritated or acting up, this is what I use. And the spray was this. She posted the spray, not sponsored, not paid. Like it was clear that she like picked it up from her bathroom counter, and she was like, and then she like Mod Podge like everything else that she uses to save her skin. And I know I'm going on about this, but I'm telling you, it will change your life.
I saw that video of hers. Yeah, post of hers.
Yes.
Okay, I need to try it.
No, it's amazing.
Have you tried Road yet?
I love my girl Hailey so much, but I am a creature of habit with my skin, except for this Tower 28 spray. And the only reason I say that is because my sister Jocelyn is a skin fanatic, and I, like, in pregnancy developed a little bit of eczema on my face, and she had said try the SOS Tower 28 spray because apparently it's a end-all be-all fix-all product. So it was one of those things that, like, when it kept like coming up in conversation, and then it got sent to me, and it just felt serendipitous.
Yes,
but
it was meant to be.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be my life. It's meant to be my skincare lineup. But I don't really stray away from my skincare lineup. I'm very, very, very particular with it, and especially during pregnancy. I'm waiting to see more data come out with Rhode before I like take the plunge, but I support my girl. Her aesthetics are fire. Love her to death. She's a set supporter, and I'm really proud of the line she created.
I have it. I love it, and my skin has never been softer. You should get the lip products.
Yeah, well, they're sold out.
Oh,
yeah, I would.
Yeah. Okay, number 3. What is your favorite set product you've ever come out with?
Ooh, it's a product we haven't come out with yet. Although, sorry, that's a loaded question. I think Sculpt Flex will always be near and dear to my heart.
Is Sculpt Flex... Okay, I never know the names. I'm so bad at remembering it. I have, like, the greens that I wear all the time. But is that the one that's, like, a little bit thicker?
It's tighter.
Yes,
it's
that's
seamless.
my favorite. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I was, like, so stupid. I went and put an order of, like, I think 4 of the exact... I have the green, like, the...
First of all, do not order.
I normally I get stuff from you guys all the time. I put in an order of so many things. The next day I got a gifting text, and I was like, fuck my life. Yeah. So it's actually great for me. The problem is I just have so much, but like I always want it, so don't think any differently. But yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, Sculpt Flex is my favorite, but we have something coming that I'm like really excited about. It was a happy accident. Not an accident, like a happy like fluke, I guess, that's coming. And I'm like so stoked about it.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
I want to talk about imposter syndrome.
Okay.
Because you are very open about dealing with it.
Yes.
So when is your like imposter syndrome the worst?
Honestly, surprisingly, it's not with being a leader or running a company. I'm so confident in what I'm doing. And I mean, I run a multi-million-dollar company and have 30 employees. I'm doing something right. You know, it's not there. It's like, it's part of my anxiety too, married with imposter syndrome. But I just always think that the world is against me. Like, if someone doesn't answer a text message, my mind isn't, oh, they're busy, or their phone died, they're in the shower, they're just not on their phone, or they're going to answer later. It's like, fuck, what did I do to hurt them? Did I like upset them? Do they actually not like me? Or how come they're posting on Instagram but not answering my text? And I like run through all these questions. And then recently, like, obviously being a business owner, I get more followers, and, you know, like, even influencers like want to get to know me or reach out to me and like different things like that. And I'm sure they're so nice, but like, I literally am terrified to meet them. And they're great girls. Like, I know that they are through social media, and just like, I can just tell I have such good intuition on people. And I still can't bring myself to like meet them in person, because I feel like I won't be as cool as them, or that because like I'm not an influencer, like maybe which I don't know why I think that, because they're not those type of girls. Mm-hmm. But it's like, that's part of it. And then honestly, what really gets me is when a brand wants to send me something, I don't get why. Like, I'm just like, why? I don't even know how to post a like aesthetically pleasing Instagram story. I look like a grandma when I'm taking like an overhead shot of something that someone just sent me, and like I don't match the text to the like colors in the story. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, which is ironic because I am a social media like genius, yes, but not with my own social media. And I'm like, I ask myself why. Like, every single time I get a DM from like a well-known brand or a well-known influencer, or even like there's some, she's like an up-and-coming actress that was on some show. She's verified. It's a popular show. My pregnancy brain's getting in the way. But she DM'd me and she was like, I am so obsessed with you. Like, your TikTok and you and your company. And I was like, why? Like, it's a mind fuck, to be honest.
Do you ever like push yourself to go meet with these people, or does it just make you like shut down?
I shut down, but I am going to be forced to meet them on Monday, because we have a collaboration with Ami Song coming out.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
I'm so excited because Ami like definitely put her twist on things, and I'm really excited for everyone to see this. We've been working on it for a year, and we have her like a launch event, which is a dinner. It's a very, very, very intimate dinner, and on the guest list are some of these girls that I am Insta friends with, and I will be meeting them for the first time, and I have extreme anxiety about it. I don't have anxiety about what I'm gonna wear, what my hair is gonna look like, hanging out with Ami, who's my friend, or like if the event's gonna go well. My anxiety is meeting my Insta friends for the first time in real life.
What are you gonna do to like prep for it? Like,
to
calm down.
I mean, I don't have a choice. Like, yeah. I just have to go. Luckily, Allie's going, and she's like always my safety blanket. And these girls, I'm not scared. Like, they're so nice. I don't know.
It's not like negative towards them.
Yeah, it's not negative towards them at all. It's just like, I'm just scared. Like, I don't fit in with them. I'm not as cool as them. I'm not as trendy as them.
That's not true though.
But I think I like convince myself that it is. And like, I also am in this weird stage in my life where like, I am a young mom. I have my second kid on the way. I am married. I bought my own house. So I'm like living this adult life, but I also have friends who aren't doing that and aren't anywhere near to having kids, or my Insta friends who also aren't near having kids. And like, I feel like I don't know which side of the line I belong. And like this like middle ground is like really hard for me to juggle, because like I have my mom friends, I have my like friends that I've been with since middle school, and then I have my Insta friends who I talk to all the time that like we haven't met in person, and then I have my young friends who are like all my little sisters, and I'm like in the middle, and I'm like like I don't know don't know how to do this.
I get that, especially in a city like LA.
Yeah.
Where it really is so, like, you could be, whereas in another state, maybe around 30 to 38 people are having kids standard, but like LA is not. You could literally, that's I think is really cool about LA, is that people aren't necessarily following like an age path.
Yeah.
So like things are really up in the air for everyone.
I mean, I wanted to be a young mom since I was little. Like, if I wasn't a CEO, everyone always says, like, if you weren't a CEO, I mean, listen, let's be real. I would always have to, like, start something of my own or always be working because I fucking love working. Like, I hate the weekends and I love the weeks. Like, love the weekdays. Now I love the weekends because I get to spend time with my son, but I always wanted to be a young mom, and I always knew that about myself. I didn't understand how hard it was going to be to, like, juggle so many different types of friends and friend groups. And, like, I have my mom friends. They're all older than me. I always feel like the baby. How did you meet your
mom friends? Like, how do you meet mom friends?
In mom group. So I became pregnant. I just, like, put feelers out there. I think my friend Ashley, I was talking to her, and she was like, you have to join this, like, mom group called Sleepy Planet. I'll, like, text the teacher and, like, see if you can get in. It's, like, referral based because they like to keep it, like, intimate and small, and so, like, you meet a lot of people. I actually, like, met some of my best mom friends in this group who I'm best friends with today. Like, I'm going to Cabo with one of them in December. Like, our families are going together.
Oh, that's so cute.
But it's hard because, like, Garrett and I are we're 31, and, like, they're young too, but they're, like, 36, 37, and, like, that's not a huge age gap, but it is when, like, you're talking about, like, I'm not going to go run to her and be like, I'm scared to meet my Insta friends. Yeah. Like, she's like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's hard navigating. Like, I feel like I have to, like, be like, okay, I have to turn on mom mode Lindsey for this friend group, or I have to turn on big sister Lindsey for this friend group, or I have to turn on, like, high school Lindsey, like, to, like, connect back with my high school friends, or whatever it might be. I, like, feel like I'm always myself, but I'm, like, different versions of myself per the group.
It's almost like compartmentalizing in a way, like,
yeah.
certain parts. Yeah, and also I think being 31 versus 36, like, you naturally when you're 31, you're also going to still have younger friends.
Yes.
So, like, the Insta friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But you are so cool, you are so trendy, and also none of these people want to be your friend for any other reason than they want to be your friend. So it's, or, like, want to hang out and spend time with you. You know what I mean? So, like,
but that's the other thing too that I get in my head about is, like, I always feel like I'm the only one who's asking people to hang out. Like, I never feel like it's on the reverse, and that could totally be in my head. But that's, like, the whole anxiety side to me. Like, I'm so scared of not being asked to be included or hang out that I feel like I try to beat people to the punch and be the person to ask to do that I never let that happen to myself, to see that I am wanted and I am wanting to, like, that they do want to include me, or, like, different things like that, because I want to beat the person to the punch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense, and I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
I'm naturally, like, it's interesting because I think I felt that more when I was younger because I'm just naturally the planner, but if someone was asking me to say the other day, because I am the one who plans things constantly, but I don't, and I don't know what it is. I don't really feel that way anymore, but I used to feel that way. But now I'm like, the other thing too is that a lot of our plans revolve around, like, something with, like, a Kenzie Elizabeth thing, like, either like a collaboration or work or whatever, or, like, a lot of my friends, we do girl trips all the time, but, like, normally they're meeting me in a city that I already have to be in, so it's just kind of work. But I don't know, I just don't, like, I don't know, I think if someone really doesn't want to be around you, they're just not going to be around you.
Totally. And I understand that, but I also think, like, as cheesy as it is, the one thing that's grounded me the most is my son. Like, there's nothing better. I could just spend my time with him and be fine, you know? So, like, that's helped with this like, ongoing situation that I struggle with. But I think it's going to take a lot of, like, inner work to, like, see that why people like me. And that's it's gonna start with me. It's just, when the fuck do I have time? Like, literally yesterday, Kaylin's like, I don't know how you do it. Your calendar's back to back. Like, I just don't. Do you have time to sip water? I said sometimes.
No, it is crazy. Your day, I can't even imagine, like, your day to day plus having a son. Like, that is wild.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. When I clock off of work and, like, I get to go home, like, after this I get to go home, I don't get to kick my feet up and turn on Love Island and, like, go, like, order in and, like, have a night in. I have to go be mommy until he goes down, and then when he goes down, then I you know, want to catch up with my husband or see how he's doing, or like it's now 7:45, 8 p.m. when I finally get to be like, what a day.
Wow.
And I'm up at 6 the next day.
Truly a superhero. What do you think, besides obviously being married and having a child, which you were married in your 20s, but besides that, what do you think the biggest difference is from like your early 20s to now?
Honestly, it's how much you grow and like how you handle situations. I think I just really wanted to fit in my 20s, and like kind of just like became someone I wasn't, depending on who I was with, and it got exhausting. Like I was just like, this isn't me. I'm not a big drinker. I don't love alcohol. Like I don't judge anyone for it at all. I'm not sober Sally. Like, don't get me wrong, I do love a good cocktail or, you know, passion fruit margarita for sure on a hard day, but like that's not my mode of happiness in my, or at least it wasn't in my 20s. And then also like I've been with my husband for 10 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So navigating like us changing has been interesting from our 20s to 30s too. And like we communicate differently now that we're older, and like our fights have changed now that we're older. And I think that you just, like you said on my podcast, like you just have to be open to change and changing your mind on things. And like at the end of the day, I was just having this conversation with Lauren Elizabeth, like you are your own person. Like you get to make your own decisions. You get to formulate your own thoughts. You get to make your mistakes, fix your mistakes, the whole 9 yards, because we are individuals and we get to do that as humans. And I think that like everyone thinks that there's some rule book that they have to follow as they go from their 20s to their 30s. But honestly, I really think 30s are the new 20s. I've never like been more content with myself and my life, and I was terrified to turn 30. I'm very happy with where I am right now, and I would not want to do my 20s again.
Yeah, so I am really looking forward to my 30s. Like I have some time, I know, but I just feel like I'm going to thrive in my 30s, and everyone says how much they just love being in their 30s.
Your 20s are a time for you to fuck up, make mistakes, figure out who you are, go on 5 million dates, sleep with whoever the fuck you want, whether it's a girl, a boy, who matters. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, do whatever you want in your 20s. Your 20s is for your to figure out like what makes you happy, who you are, who you want to surround yourself with, because that's when that all kind of gets figured out in your 30s. And that's why I feel like people love their 30s more than their 20s, because everything kind of starts to feel a little bit figured out. But if I were to do my 20s all over again, I probably would have been more reckless just to like grow more.
What are things you would do?
I don't know. I probably would have like gone out more, or just like said yes to more things. I wish I was more of a yes girl in my 20s rather than like a no. I mean, that's such a loaded question. I feel like I wouldn't have changed being in a relationship, because I do think that Garrett is my twin flame. There's a difference between a soulmate and a twin flame. But
what is the difference? Can you explain this to me?
Can I just give you like a Google definition?
Yeah, please do,
I don't want to fuck it up. But difference between twin flame and soulmate. Okay. So the main difference is the idea that twin flames are two halves of the whole, where soulmates are not. While twin flames are thought to be one soul split into two bodies, soulmates are simply two separate souls that are extraordinarily linked. Like, I truly think that me and Garrett are two halves that come together to make a whole. I'm very extroverted. I speak my opinion. I like, you know, challenge a lot. Like, I'm a challenger for sure. I'm a planner. I do not procrastinate. And Garrett is all the opposites. And I really think that, like, we just come together as one. I mean, we've been together for 10 years. We've lived together for 8.5 of those years. So it just works. I mean, like, he lets me be independent, and he lets me be me. And I don't feel like I have to compromise who I am when I'm with him. So I wouldn't have changed my relationship in my 20s. Like, I know a lot of people are like, go on a million dates, like, blah, blah, blah. That I had down. Garrett is my everything. But I don't know. I probably just, like, would have taken on more experiences. I probably would have started things that I, like, thought to start then, where I had the idea but was scared to fail. I probably wouldn't have been, like, pursuing early childhood education because I knew in my heart that I didn't want to be a teacher, but I felt like I had to follow society and get my degree and finish. And I probably wouldn't have listened to my dad, to be honest. Like, I don't say my parents because I lost my mom when I was young, but I battled my dad a lot growing up, but I probably would have battled him more to, like, really go after what I want, and not, like, listened. But I felt controlled by him with, like, finances and stuff, so I felt like I had to listen. I probably would have, like, started therapy a lot more rigorously in my 20s. I'm trying to think of what else I would have changed. I would have traveled more. I think everyone should be traveling their ass off in their 20s. So yeah.
These are, like, mainly things I'm doing, so I feel good about this. But that's because I have a podcast where I talk about life in your 20s so much, so I, like, listen to whatever anyone. I love advice and, like, listening to anyone who knows, actually anyone in life, but, like, anyone who is further ahead of me in life. What am I trying to say?
No, you're doing your 20s right. I really think that you are. I also would say, like, in the dating scene, not that I'm a professional because I've been with the same man for 10 years, but, like, don't be so picky. You know, like, if you're like, you never know what's going to make your soul happy, especially in a partner, in a friend, in anyone. Like, you get so surprised by the relationships that make you the happiest, and that definitely comes in friendships and relationships. And don't be so picky. Like, say yes to every date, every opportunity, every setup, every blind date, because as cheesy as it is, like, everyone has a soul and they have a personality, and it's not all about looks or this or that, and you can fall in love with someone's soul and their insides and everything, and then the outside falls on top of that.
That's very good advice. The one thing I'm not doing is I'm not going on any dates. Like, I've been so out of the dating game for, like, a year.
That's
like,
okay.
I had no interest.
By the way, you don't have to go on, like,
okay.
You can work on yourself. Like, if you're in the I'm working on me era, look at me, I'm such a millennial. If you're on the working on me era, like, work on yourself. That's part of also your 20s. Like, understand who you are. Like, try everything. Do it all. That you have 10 years to do it. So, like, if you want to take a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of your 20s to focus on you because you really want to find your person in your 30s, then so be it. There's no rule book. That's my point.
Yeah.
Is there's no rule book to how you want to live your life. Don't, like, compare yourself on social media. Don't, compare yourself to your friends. Like, you are here for you. Live your life how you want to live it. How does it make you happy? And lean into that.
That is my one, I wouldn't even say fear because it's not fully a fear, but I just don't have a desire to date. Like, I'm having so much fun. It's like me and my best girlfriends, we're all single. We go on girls trips all the time. We do everything together. Like, we're just having such a fun time. But I'm like, I'm only 24 too, so it's fine. I think I'd be stressing maybe at a different time. But I just don't want to look back and be like, oh, I wish I would have gone on dates. But, like, at this current time, I don't want to go on dates.
That's fine. There's no rule book. Don't let, like, anyone tell you differently. And if you do look back and you're like, well, fuck me, I should have gone on so many dates, then start it right then and there. Like, you have time to do that. Like, just do you. That's just do you.
That's me overthinking,
Look at me. I'm freaking out about a freaking event on Monday of meeting my Insta friends. Talk about overthinking.
They're going to love you.
Yeah.
Okay, bringing it back to books, like I always do.
Okay.
Do you have any other book recs or recent reads?
So it's so funny because before we started recording this episode, you're like, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about books. And I was like, well, I am the last person she wants to talk about books with because I really am only a Colleen Hoover fan.
That's fine.
And everyone, like, from TikTok or, like, my Instagram, they always ask me, like, business books. Listen, I've never read a business book ever. doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Everyone's business is different. Everyone runs things differently. Like how I run set is not how you're going to run O-Kind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Colleen Hoover books, that's where it's at for me right now.
You should read like anyone that's authors that are like kind of similar in the same vibe. Certain Emily Henry books, Renee Carlino, Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is for like listeners. You don't have to read all of these.
Okay.
I have posts on Instagram too where it's like giving similar authors. Oh, I love Abby Jimenez. I think that's how you say her name. Every book of hers that I've read, all 4 or 5, all of them I've rated 5 stars. Wow. And I don't rate things 5 stars like very often. Every single book I read 5 stars.
Do you follow Kelsey DePrima or Jules Jacobson on Instagram?
Yes.
They post a lot of great book recs.
I follow both of them, and I think we read very similar books, I think.
Yeah, you do.
It's just like such a world out there. Like once you get in it, it's just like, oh, I love it.
If I come across anything, since now that you know I'm like a very picky reader, that I'm like, holy shit, this was like 10 out of 10, I'll text you.
Oh, please.
And let you know. There is something on my list. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it fast enough for like a TikTok. TikTok is always on my mind for a podcast recording. But my friend, actually, I can find this very quickly. She told me to read this book if I liked Colleen Hoover. And she said it was the best book that she's ever read. It is called, of course, the Wi-Fi is really bad at Dear Media. Let's see. I think she wrote the minute. I can't, blah, blah, blah. You should read Every Last Secret.
Is that, what's the author?
I don't know.
Wait, I'm pretty sure we read that. Lauren and I read that for, book club when I was doing book club on the podcast for a second. Can I wait, you don't have it? Let me Google it.
Yeah, Google it because
no, it might actually be Lauren and I's least favorite book ever, but we have an unpopular opinion on it. Like, let me see, but I might be wrong.
I haven't read it, so
wait, what did you say it was?
Every Last Secret.
I just read Every Summer After, and I just typed that in. And no, wait, let me look on Goodreads. 1 second.
Because I posted on my story back in June when I finished Verity that I said this is by far the best book that I've ever read. And then she responded to my story and said, you should read Every Last Secret. It's my favorite that I've read in a while if you like these kind of books. And then we like started talking more about it. But she said it's like by far the best.
I take it back. It's not the book that we hated because I rated it 3 stars, which probably means it was 3.5. And Lauren loved this book. I take it back. I'm pretty sure. There was one book that we read, though, that, like, it's not even this author. Dang it, I'm forgetting it. That, like, Lauren and I still, like, when people post it on their stories, like, we will send it to each other and be like, do you remember when we had to read this book? But it's not that one. Wow. Anyways, I do like that. Another book that's really good for the summer vibes, Every Summer After.
Okay.
If people liked The Summer I Turned Pretty, that kind of vibe, it's like a more adult version of that book.
Okay.
And there's a series that I haven't seen yet, but.
Well, if I'm being totally honest, I don't even have 5 minutes to eat dinner.
No, I don't know when you would ever read.
I had dino nuggets for dinner
maybe when
last
you go
night.
on vacation.
Yeah, maybe my next vacation, which is in December, but I will be traveling with my toddler.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know when you would do that.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe I'll like force myself. But as I said, last night for dinner and probably for dinner tonight, I had dino nuggets. I don't have time for anything.
Dino nuggets are really good though.
You're telling me.
I would kill for those. Okay, well, it's been great having you on for the 3rd time. You are basically a co-host.
We always find a way to like talk about something different every single time, which I think is so cool. It's
impressive.
Yeah.
Look at us go.
Yeah, look at us go.
Love it. Okay, so where can they find you?
Lindsey Carter on Instagram, Lindsey Rachel Carter on TikTok because I'm a TikTok queen now, and at Set Active on Instagram and TikTok as well.
And the podcast?
Well, Ready Set Spill. I post everything on Set Active and my personal. I don't have the time to run a 3rd social media account.
No, but like what? Like
Ready Set Spill
is the podcast.
Yeah, Ready Set Spill with Dear Media. I talk a lot about business. I'm really leaning into like the BTS of Set on the future coming episodes. I'm gonna do like a new series of like a hot seat where I bring in like I record from the office and bring my employees on without preparing them and ask them a bunch of questions.
That's cool.
So I'm really excited about leading more into like Set and the BTS of that. But it's Ready, Set, Spill. I spill everything on motherhood, business, life, and the whole 9 yards.
Love it. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know by giving it a nice thumbs up and subscribe for more.